Assalamu alaikum, guys. How you doing? I'm with Simon. Simon, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Alhamdulillah.
So the news is that you just accepted Islam. How long ago?
2 years in March.
Can you tell us what was so amazing about Islam? You're a Brit. They call Britain.
Yeah.
From Britain, and with all of the hype and all of the misconceptions and all that, you took a bold step.
Yeah.
You accepted Islam. What was it that amazed you about Islam that had you accept it?
Well, my stepson, my wife's son, he introduced me to it to start with. I saw what kind of a person he was. And, it's hard to say really, because
tell it like it is.
I'm trying to. When I became a Muslim after I took my Shahada and I started practicing it and reading the Quran, I realised what I was getting into, and it's nothing like what I expected it to be. I was brought up as a Christian, and my beliefs about Christianity and that kind of thing, I can't align with them. But yet, when I read the Quran, it was so simple, so straightforward. There's nothing in it that I could see to dispute. Whereas the Bible, there's a lot of things in it which are open to interpretation, etc. The Roman connection, Jesus was like portrayed as a miracle worker, where I think he was sensationalised a bit, perhaps in Christianity, which takes the onus away from what it's actually about. Whereas I say Islam to me is a pure religion, pure faith. When I was immersed in Islam, I used to do the dawah with Osman. It was like I'd won the lottery. It was like I'd won something, and I wanted to spread the word and tell people. When you hear about born again Christians, you think well, born again Christians are a bit crazy, but I was doing the same thing. I couldn't believe what I was doing, what I was feeling, and what I wanted to portray to people. So, alhamdulillah, I'm so glad I became a Muslim. And I've never been particularly religious before. I always kind of believed in the Darwin theory, that kind of thing. But I've opened my mind up recently to. One time, people believed that science was in one and religion were opposed to each other. But now, through reading the Quran, you can see that they actually come together. So the Darwin thing, I'm totally believing God now in Allah. I don't think about the Darwin thing or anything like that, because it's always been explained to me through reading the Quran and speaking to other people as well, the Muslims.
What advice would you have for other Brits, other people out there who their minds are really having the ideas that Islam is something that is foreign, Islam is something of the other, that Islam is something violent, and the list goes on of all of these things that contradict Islam? What advice would you have for them? I would say you've got to look beyond that, and you've got to really focus on what Islam actually is, and not what you've been told it is, or what your conceptions of it are, misconceptions. You've got to look past that, read the Quran, speak to other Muslims, come to a mosque, pray, and feel what I felt. Yeah, and inshallah, that's you'll get the same benefit from it that I got. God willing, you will. That's right, inshallah. Because you want to know the how, why, and where. How'd you end up here? Why are you here? Where are you going? He's figured it out. He's living the purpose of life. He got through all the hype, and now he's a Muslim, one who has submitted his will to the Creator of the heavens and earth. He gave you some great advice. Read the Quran. Read it. Pick up the book and read it. Make the human connection. Meet a Muslim. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And thank you guys. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum from UK.